Hey guys, welcome back. Modi 101 here, and I'm here with RADGIEDADDY.
Hello, good fellow.
The P stands for penguins.
Well, no.
The P stands for penguins are the best.
Penguins are the worst.
Apparently Reggie hates penguins.
I hate penguins.
Alright, so I'm going to look at this farming station again.
I was looking at Octadoc.
What? Oh,
well, I was trying to make octadic.
Octadic capacitors. Basically, yeah, you're just going to need to make energetic alloy.
Which I was
Which we actually have a block of energetic alloy. You know what? We have... Actually, here's the thing. I don't know why we have all this, but we have the vibrant alloy. So if you want to... The capacitor is going to be easy. All you got to... Well, you have to work your way up.
I've got 4 double layer capacitors on me.
Okay, so that will actually... And then you use those double layer capacitors with the vibrant alloy and I think glowstone? Like a block of glowstone, which we have?
So,
or coal dust. It's coal dust in one. Did you use coal dust to make the...
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay,
it's glowstone there.
Which we have plenty of. We have it, so you can actually crank this out real quick. So, alright, so let's look at this farming station. Now, I've used the normal Ender IO farming station a million times. The problem with that one is it will work with the magic crops, but it won't use the crop sticks, so that whole 10-10-10 thing goes out the window, I believe. But also what it does is that when it plants them without the crop sticks, which means when you walk through them, it hurts you. From what I think, the Agricraft farming station uses the crop sticks, so therefore it acts the same. So to get this, we are going to have to make a machine chassis, which is pretty easy, a diamond hoe, which is simple, electrical steel, which I don't know if we have, but that is just silicone.
We've got 13 at the minute.
13. Well, we're going to need 4. We actually only need 4, so. We need pulsating crystals, which is just going to be a diamond surrounded by pulsating iron nuggets.
We've got 2 of those.
Of the crystals?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it looks like the farming intelligence module.
That's where we were looking at.
Yeah, so we're going to have to make, what is that, 8 farming base modules. Ooh.
Ooh.
So, capacitor-lined housing plate, which doesn't seem, but that means we're going to have to make some more double-layer capacitors and some more of the pulsating crystals. And we need
well, can we set up the ME system to auto-craft those? Because I know that's one of the other tasks that we do. We have to auto-craft with the ME.
Yeah, the auto-crafting... I'm going to just be straight honest with it. I haven't I don't know if I've ever done the auto-crafting in this version of Applied Energistics.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the old version where you would use the quartz cutting knife and whatnot to make the circuits and stuff?
Yeah.
You didn't have to use the whole inscriber and all that stuff. That's how long it's been since I did the auto crafting stuff. And we can look at it. It is something we need to do. Because I was kind of thinking we could try and use auto crafting as well to maybe set it up to where it crafts, it seems basic, but it crafts all the essence into the items.
Yeah, that would be good.
So I think maybe we should start getting the essence coming in. And to be honest with you, I'm going to have to do some research. It's been so long since I've done it. And like I said, I haven't even done it in this version. We would spend 5 episodes fumbling through it if we just tried to figure it out. I know everybody in the comments is probably freaking out. Be like, it's super easy. You just make this, that, this, 3 of these, 5 of those, 19 of those. You stand on your head, you smack your butt, you point at somebody, and it's done. What's so hard about that? So... we are going to need at least another tesseract. So, all right. So to make these, the farming base modules, we're going to need 8 of these, and it makes 1. So we're going to need, what, 8 times 4? We're going to need a stack of capacitor-lined housing plates. For each one, you need 2 double-layer capacitors. So we need 2 stacks of double-layer capacitors.
Okay.
We're going to need a stack of pulsating iron crystals. We're going to need 3 stacks of conductive iron and 3 stacks of pulsating iron. Then we're going to need, for each one of these, 2 chassis plates. And those are just machine frames surrounded by iron. And that actually gives us 8. So we're going to have to make that twice. So we just need 2 machine chassis and 16 iron will give us the 8 chassis plates. That's not bad. And then, of course, the crop sticks are easy. Then we're going to have to also make a Z-Logic controller, which means we're going to need a slice and splice. Luckily, and which means we're going to need solarium as well, which is just soul sand and gold ingots, which soul sand won't be that hard. And also, we should have quite a bit of zombie heads, right, from our mob farm.
Let's have a look. Zombie heads, we have 46.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We only need we need 1, so we're good. And then I think in here we actually have another 2. So a baby zombie just died. The sound scared me and I almost fell off the platform. All right, so slice and splice is going to be. We're going to need some sort of headcrumbs head. Doesn't really matter which one. Shears, a machine chassis, which we're going to have to make a ridiculous amount of basic capacitors, by the way. And then we're going to need the solarium. So let me do this.
Do you want me to make basic capacitors then?
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of basic capacitors. All right, so
we're talking like 2 or 3 stacks?
We're probably, well, consider the fact that we need 2 stacks of double layer capacitors. We're going to need, at minimum, 4 stacks just for the double layer capacitors. Probably another half a stack to a stack, I mean, just to be safe, for the for all the machine chassis we're going to have to make. So, all right, so I'm going to turn this off from exporting the soul sand over to our automatic sieve, so I can kind of build up on that. And I'm also, just for simplicity, going to make another alloy smelter, because the one we have is, the 2 that we have are kind of in the middle of being used, so.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to need to make one of these, which means I'm going to have to make some gold nuggets. So yeah, this is going to be probably some grind work on here. But then it's also going to be probably some off-camera grind work. But, you know, I mean, these, you know, if this can automate all of our crops over there, more power to it, right? So.
Yep. That'll be good.
Yeah. I need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Put those in. And lastly, 1 of these. It is nice having plenty of resources. That makes doing this pretty simple. So let's go ahead and just plop this guy right here. Let that start building up, and then let's go ahead and grab our soul sand and some gold, and we should be able to start making solarium. Alright. So, gold, soul sand, solarium production. And if I actually just set this to export out the side, it'll go right into this chest, which is hooked up to the ME system anyways, so the solarium will just go straight into the ME system, so. But it's not a fast process. I'm actually going to steal the capacitor out of here for a minute. Pop it in here. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We already have a stack plus 2 of the of the dark steel. So as long as we have, looks like we're a little low on obsidian. Did we still have quite a bit of essence?
We should
Actually,
do. Well,
no,
there's none left in the ME system, but
Okay.
we should be able to harvest them.
All right, I'll go do that real quick while we're waiting on this stuff. Anyways.
Energetic alloy.
Let's see. Obsidian. I probably ran past it like 5 times. Rubber, spider, skeleton, creeper, cow, obsidian. Probably water these up, get a little bit more. Alright. So how things been going with you, Reggie?
Not too bad. Need some energetic alloy.
How were your holidays? As exhausting as everybody else's?
Yeah, I was fairly quiet, to be honest.
Good.
Just me and Zanny kind of stayed at home and did our own thing, so
cool.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the funny part is in my family, like, you know, there was the whole phase with, you know, the kids, as in like me and my brothers and my sister and stuff, and I'm a lot younger than my siblings, so like that phase lasted for my mom a really long time.
Yeah,
because like the next youngest in my family is 14 years older than me, so right about the time that, like, you know, the crazy little kid going to the toy store Christmas for a parent thing kind of faded off. Then there was me, and it started all over. So, sorry, Mom. And then, you know, so, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, the grandkids started getting born. So that kind of, you know, repositioned it towards that. But now a lot of the I think the youngest of my mom's grandkids are, the youngest is 13, and there's 3 of them that are 23. So that phase is starting to fade away. And we kind of, so really honestly, like, you know, kind of just, you know, we just go and visit. It's not like, oh, okay, what time are we all meeting there? What time are we doing this? What time are we doing that? Just more like stopping by. Hey, how's it going? You know, my mom's gotten to the point, you know, the age where she's now just the queen of gift cards.
Yeah, that kind of has hit us as well.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants the gift cards because it's the easiest way to do it.
So yeah, she's really a big fan of that, and you know what, the girls don't mind, I don't mind. Gift cards are kind of fun because for me, I always forget I have them. They're just like in my wallet, and then one day I'm like, oh, look at that, I'm going to Subway, you know. So, but yeah, so, you know, a lot more low key, but, you know, hanging out with the girls was fun, and you know, they spend time here, then they go and hang out with their moms, so they get, you know, it's funny with my daughters, they, you know, we went and did Christmas, we stopped by my mom's house like Christmas Eve morning, so they had a little Christmas there, and then, you know, we did ours Christmas morning, so they had like another Christmas there. And then right after that, they went to their mom's, which with their other grandparents, so they had another Christmas there. So the point is they're super spoiled.
That's not bad when you get that many Christmases.
Yeah. So, you know, but it's just a case of it makes the whole situation where everybody's running around a lot more and everything, you know, like, you know, okay, so we got to do this by this time and that by that time and blah, 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 blah. That can get a little rough sometimes. But other than that, like I said, I mean, you know, pretty good, And that's
why we actually kind of went and ate out for a few of our Christmases, kind of about 5-6 years ago. We would all kind of like go to a restaurant and have Christmas lunch at a restaurant.
And then actually the funny part is that that's kind of been our MO for a while. My mom will still, you know, try and do like the Thanksgiving side of it, which I know you guys don't have, but that's a holiday that just 100% revolves around the meal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So So, but with Christmas, like I said, especially, when you have kids and stuff like that, it's Christmas morning and all that stuff. But Thanksgiving, it's like the meal. There's no Thanksgiving presents.
Okay, here's the thing that I wanted to ask as well, because the difference between UK and the US. Okay. So you guys, for Christmas lunch, what do you eat?
It varies. If you sit with more tradition, and mind you, I'm just kind of going off my experience. From a tradition standpoint, it tends to be very similar to our Thanksgiving. A lot of people will do a turkey on Thanksgiving. That's very traditional for that.
That's usually what we have, and I would say probably 90% of the UK use turkey
for Christmas.
For Christmas, yeah.
Okay, I would say it's still the majority of that here. Some people would go with like a honey baked ham.
Yeah,
and I think one of the big reasons of that is I don't know if it's necessarily so much like ancient tradition or anything like that, as much as it's like
you've just eaten turkey.
it was a month. It's like usually like a little over a month difference.
Yeah.
From Thanksgiving to Christmas. So
yeah.
And the other side of it is that generally, once again, in what I've noticed is a lot of, other than that protein, that meat, everything else is kind of the same. Like cranberry sauce and rolls and vegetables and even like pumpkin pie is pretty, because it's in season. Pumpkin pie is more associated with Thanksgiving here, but
see, we don't get that here. You would be very, very hard pressed to get a pumpkin pie over here in the UK.
Do you guys hate pumpkins?
No, we just don't eat pumpkin pie. I had never ever heard of pumpkin pie until my aunt from Long Island had told me about it.
Really?
Yeah. We don't get it here.
Yeah, but you guys get other weird stuff there. Because, like, what are some of, like, the Christmas tradition food-wise? Like, isn't there, like, a pudding? Like a figgy pudding or something like that?
There's a Christmas pudding, which is like dried fruit baked into kind of like a cake sort of thing. And that's usually with, like, brandy sauce or...
Whoa. Okay, so wait, hold on. Okay, here, once again, off my limited knowledge, pudding is... how do I explain it?
Loosen and kind of like a butterscotch pudding or chocolate pudding.
We have chocolate, vanilla, butterscotch, where it's like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of ice cream, but without the coldness of it.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, at least growing up, that's pudding. Regardless of what flavor it is, that's the consistency of pudding.
Okay, well, in the UK, there are various ways that we use pudding. So pudding can be your dessert. That's what a lot of people would call a pudding.
Oh, okay. See, I learned so much because for the longest time, and just being, dumb American, and maybe we're teaching people stuff here, tea time or having tea. Here, we get full-on Downton Abbey, big hats, fluffy, dresses, pinky up, tea, cookies, out in a garden somewhere.
Yeah.
Then I learned by meeting you guys, and God, I hate saying this, I learned from Skittles, which that whole sentence is just a mess. I learned from Skittles, tea or tea time is what we would just call dinner.
Only in the north of the UK.
Really?
Yes.
God damn it.
Because Skittles and I are kind of very close where we live.
Yeah.
Usually in the north of the UK, tea is kind of used for your evening meal. So we would say, I'm going for tea now.
So you would have breakfast.
Dinner would be lunch.
So breakfast, dinner, tea.
Yeah.
And that's normal.
Yes.
Okay. And then, but then, okay, so you're saying like south, like London, that's not the case.
No. They would generally say breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So for their quote unquote tea time would be a less kind of racist version of what I just said earlier, right?
Tea time for somebody down south. See, tea time as well can be a very kind of posh thing because you get something called high tea.
Okay.
Which is usually mid-afternoon and would be eaten. You would eat kind of like fondant fancy cakes, like very, like posh, very sort of dainty cakes and cucumber sandwiches and those kind of things. And you would have a pot of tea brewed, and that would be high tea or afternoon tea.
Okay. So confusing.
But yeah, like I say, pudding, we've got different puddings. So pudding can be your sweet after a meal.
Like chocolate pudding or butterscotch or vanilla or tapioca or
just
something like
any
that.
Sweet.
Okay.
So it could be a cake, it could be like some kind of pastry, it could be anything. So anything sweet would be a pudding.
Okay, so hold on. Then Christmas pudding, do you know what a fruit cake is?
Yes.
Is it similar to that?
Very similar, but it's kind of steamed. So instead of it being like a cakey texture, it's kind of like it's hard to describe. It's like it's closer together. It's more dense than a cake.
Okay.
And you would have it with like brandy sauce or like ice cream or custard or something like that, kind of to go over the top.
All right.
We also say
go ahead.
something can be up like a pudding.
Is that something we're allowed to talk about on a PG channel?
It is.
Okay.
It just means something is swollen. So if you get punched in the face, you would have an eye like a pudding because it's swollen.
I'm never going to grasp the concept. Because the funny part is I learn things because, we talk to, we have a lot, like me, I've had a lot of friends from doing the YouTube thing. Because that's the thing. Before YouTube, I had never talked to anybody who lived in another country other than some, because it was all real world stuff. Obviously, I know people who live in Mexico or lived in Mexico because I'm right on the border. And I met, like, I had a friend back when I used to play Magic the Gathering. And I had a wife at the same time, so it's kind of crazy those two things happen. But boobs and MTG, that's right. And he was an adult. He was like in his like late 20s, but he was still technically a foreign exchange student. He was here going to school, but he was from France. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, other than maybe just random encounters, hey, how you doing? Oh, well, that's cool. Like just a friend of a friend. That was probably the one time that I was ever able to sit down with somebody and be like, your stuff's weird. Just really kind of mean. But, I've obviously met so many people from Europe and then also Australia over all the course. I mean, besides people in the squad, but a lot of other people. I talked to Husky a lot about, being up in Canada and stuff, which isn't really all that too different from the U.S. But, I mean, like, little things like, in
Canada, they use poutine, don't they? And it's like, that just sounds gross.
Well, in Australia, it's Vegemite, but, like, university and college.
Yeah.
Like, here, university and college relatively mean the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm in college. I'm going, university is more of a place, like a physical place, structure, a buildings on a chunk of land. College is more like, oh, are you in high school? No, I'm in college. Now, where you're from, college is, when you use that word, it's more talking about what we would call the end of high school.
Yeah, it's kind of like the last 2 years of what you guys would call high school.
Okay. And the other term for it is sixth form, right?
Well, yes and no. They're kind of two different things. So it's like if you're in sixth form, generally what a sixth form is, if you stay at school. So if you stay at the high school that you've been in
Yeah.
you would move on to what is called the sixth form. A college is kind of like a separate entity where you can have people of all ages go to, but generally a sixth form is somebody who's like literally the last 2 years of high school. You won't get anybody in a sixth form that is like my age or your age, whereas a college...
so I think college there is kind of what we would call maybe junior college, or what we would call almost community college.
Yeah.
Is it kind of a step down from university? Like university's a lot higher up. Okay, so here's the weird part though, is in Australia, you know, which is kind of like how the US is it's, you know, loosely based off of the language from England. There, they, like you, they go to university. So they use it both as a physical place and a description of where they are in school. But there, the word college means dorms.
Yeah.
Like someplace you would live on campus, but not in a house. Yeah. So that was super confusing because I had a friend who, you know, that I met through this, I used to do building stuff with on servers. And he, you know, he would be like, oh, I had such a hard day at university, time to head back to college. And I'm like, what? Wait, where? And basically what he was saying for here was, I had a long day at school, I had a long day at college, time to head back to my dorm room.
Yeah.
So the funny part is I was learning both the somewhat English versions and the Australian versions at the same time, which made it even more confusing. But the funny part is we are way over on this video. So we still do have a lot. I did make the Z-Logic controller, so that's taken care of.
Well, I did make a whole load of octadic capacitors as well.
Yeah, like I said, we're probably going to need 2 stacks of those. We need 2 stacks of those at a minimum.
Oh, well, I've got 14.
Okay, so yeah, we need 2 stacks to be able to make this thing. And this is to make one of those, by the way. And then we're going to need a bunch of regular capacitors to make all the chassis and everything, too. So
yeah,
we'll work on it. From this point on, we actually have 2 weeks till we record because I'm taking a little vacation time. You guys won't notice because these videos will go up seamlessly because we're professional somethings.
Yeah, we are.
But if I remember to upload them, so... But yeah, but anyways, so hope you guys enjoyed America, England, weird. Tell us if you enjoyed it, because I don't mind sitting here and having conversations and being like, what do you call this? Whoa, we call it that! Crazy! Yeah. I really enjoy that. Let us know if it's something you guys like, and you know, we can chit chat while we're doing these just repetitive, meaningless tasks. So, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Questions, comments, concerns, put it down in the comments section. If you're watching my view, make sure you go check out Radgie's channel down below. And while you're there, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching his view and want to do the same for me, that would be super cool. Don't forget, if you want to get your very own Minecraft server so that you can play with a friend of yours in another country and talk about how things are weird, make sure you get that server from Aim to Game. And Aim to Game, as far as I know, worldwide. You know, I think
they're certainly in the UK.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So if there's people who have been like, oh, if it's an American company, Radgie, you have multiple. I actually think, don't they have nodes in like Germany or something like that?
They do, yes. They've got nodes in Europe. They've got nodes, I know, East Coast and West Coast US.
And Central. And I think, I haven't talked to him because it's not been something we've needed to ask, but there may even be nodes in like Australia and stuff like that. So, so there's servers. I know that
he's actually started to add extra games in now as well.
Yeah, besides Minecraft stuff and adding extra mod packs. So
yes,
but yeah, make sure you use that link if you want to go check out the website, kind of get a feel for it. Still use our link. That way, if you decide to get one, you're already there. And if you decide to get one, make sure you use the coupon codes down below to save yourself some money. And until the next episode of Best of Both Skyblocks, where hopefully at least one of us, probably not, will remember to get all the stuff done that we promised we would. It's a pretty high chance we're gonna forget. So.
Yeah.
So just, I mean, it's gonna be better. Let's put it this way. I think everybody should just assume we're not gonna get it done, and maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. So.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to think about it.
But until that episode, we want to thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.